Hey gang, it's JC. This is your Daily Dose for Tuesday, June 1st, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Lots of exciting things coming. Tomorrow here on the Daily Dose, I'm going to tell you about how you're going to be able to pick up things on podcasts using iTunes and all sorts of cool stuff. We'll get to that tomorrow on the Daily Dose. In the meantime, let's kick off with the news. And a new study says acupuncture actually does work in relieving pain. Acupuncture works. Speaking of little pricks, Gary Coleman died over the weekend. So did Dennis Hopper. I don't know who number 3 is going to be. Ted Koppel's kid, by the way, does not count. By the way, with the passing of Gary Coleman, this means now that Todd Bridges is the only kid left over from Different Strokes that isn't dead, and who would have guessed that? All right, an alleged photo of Tampa Bay Rays third baseman Evan Longoria's penis has been circulating online. They think it's the real thing. Madonna has already identified it in a lineup. All right, American Idol. He was just here at Rib America. That's right. See, I always get confused because the last time I went to Rib America, it's like, all right, give me like 3 ribs, and it's like, that'll be $39.99. I'm like, you go to hell. So I don't go anymore. Anyhow, Bret Michaels was in town over the weekend performing. That's the latest rumor as to who is going to replace Simon Cowell on American Idol. We will follow that one. Jack Nicholson. You gotta love the guy. He tried to pick up Jessica Simpson. It's worth a shot. What the hell? What's the worst thing that happens? She says no. Maybe she's goofed up and she says yes. At this point, though, you know, Jack would probably have better luck trying to pick up Marge Simpson. All right, little weather note here. On this date in 1843, and I used to live in Buffalo, so I sort of know a little bit about this. Cleveland, Buffalo, and Rochester on June 1st, 1843 got snow on June 1st. Well, you know what Vanessa Williams says, sometimes the snow comes down in June, sometimes the sun goes around the moon. All right, late night television tonight, Dave, Leno, Jimmy Kimmel, Craig Ferguson, Jimmy Fallon, all in reruns. Jon Stewart and the Colbert Report are back now after a 2-week hiatus. And CNN celebrating 30 years in existence, is going to celebrate with Larry King's guest, Lady Gaga. Anderson Cooper is like, hello, hello. All right, today is Celebrity Tuesday. As you know, what I try to do on Celebrity Tuesday is talk about a celebrity that I actually got to know and actually spend some time with. Not somebody who I spent, 5 minutes with in a television interview, or somebody who just popped in on the show and was gone. There's got to be a story involved, and today we are going to do Jackson Browne. Now, I got to tell you, when I was a kid in the very late 1960s, I was playing Jackson Browne records. I got a hold of some stuff in the early 70s, played it on my college radio station, and then, of course, Take It Easy was done by the Eagles, and you found out that it was done by Jackson Browne, and you find yourself actually picturing in your mind what Winslow, Arizona would be like. And then you find out he's hanging out with Linda Ronstadt and Eagles and all sorts of cool people in that sort of Southern California country rock scene, and it was just fabulous stuff. So around 1986, I had a chance to meet Jackson Browne backstage at the fabulous Fox Theater, and it was a very weird night. Went to see the show, go backstage afterwards, but not before first clearing access to backstage with Buddha. That's right, Buddha. Because I said I'd like to go backstage and meet Jackson Browne. They go, yeah, call Buddha. I was like, what are you talking about? Here's a number. Click. I'm like, okay. What the hell? So I dial the number. Oh, it's Buddha. Like, I don't know what's going on. What? It turns out Buddha was just this huge guy who was like a bodyguard for Jackson Browne, and he cleared any access that anybody had to Jackson Browne. I was like, okay, well, I'm here in St. Louis, and we play Jackson Browne stuff all the time. I'd like to meet him. Yeah, all right, come on backstage, ask for Buddha. Sure enough, I go to the Fox Theater after the show, and there's this huge guy, and he hands me a business card that says Buddha on it. So I'm talking with Jackson Browne. We're having a very nice time. There's maybe 25, 30 people in the room. Some I recognized, some I didn't. And at one point in the interview, we're having a very nice chat. And I said, by the way, Jackson, I just want to tell you something. I think that In the Shape of a Heart might be one of the best love songs just ever written. I just think it's absolutely fantastic. And at that point, Buddha looks at Jackson Browne. Jackson Browne looks at Buddha. They look at me, and they turn and walk away without saying a word. Now, to this day, I have no idea what I did wrong. Maybe is it possible that a song can be so personal that you can sing it, but you can't talk about it? So anyhow, now we fast forward to, I think the year was 1988, and some record executive guy was mad at Casey, probably because they wouldn't play Jackson Browne. So they decided to get even, and the way they were going to get even was by giving me an exclusive interview with Jackson Browne. They said, all you got to do is go to Chicago at Poplar Creek, which is the sort of the equivalent of Riverport here, and you go out there and we'll set it up for you, but you got to be there by like 11:30 for his concert. Is going to be that night. You got a chance to talk to Jackson Browne. We'll give you exclusive interview. I'm like, sure. I get together with the TV station, the radio station. I get a plane ticket, I fly to Chicago, boom, there we are waiting for Jackson Browne at 11:30 in the morning. We're waiting 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, and finally at about 3:30 in the afternoon, Jackson Browne emerges and he goes out to do his sound check. And they're like, all right, go set up out there. And so now we set up about 30 rows back at Poplar Creek, and we got the camera there, and Jackson Browne walks up to mine and goes, don't you dare shoot anything until we tell you it's okay. We're like, okay, we won't. So they're up there sort of dicking around, and they're, tuning up guitars, and then they start playing Running on Empty. And about 90 seconds into Running on Empty, they just stop, and Jackson Browne says over the loudspeaker system, right in the microphone, he says, did you get enough? They're like, we weren't shooting. You told us not to. He says, you're kidding, right? I said, no, man, you told us not to shoot. And he sort of rolls his eyes back in his head and plays Running on Empty again, and this time we record it. So now we got to wait like another 2.5 hours. I don't know, it's like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the evening. We've been waiting there since 11:30 for Jackson Browne, and finally he comes out and, by the way, gives me a great interview, just a fabulous interview. And, I'm just sort of sitting there still thinking to myself, what happened in that conversation at the Fox Theater, and I will never know. And of course, in 1992, the incident with Daryl Hannah took place, his girlfriend at the time. And you might even recall the story where JFK Jr. flew out to Los Angeles to comfort Daryl Hannah, instead of me, Saturday Night Live, Daryl Hannah, and because they had, had some sort of relationship at some point. And all I know is she had a broken finger and a black eye, according to the police report. And Jackson Browne said that he had done that in self-defense. She did not press charges, and at the end of the whole thing, I was just like, phew. So that's the story of Jackson Browne and JC, as told to you here on the 1st of June, 2010. I still like Jackson Browne music, just not as much. Sometimes you want to get close to something, and then after you get close to it, you find out you were better off with a little distance. All right, so that's Celebrity Tuesday. We do that every Tuesday for you here at jc'sdailydose.com. All right, it is Tuesday, and because we had a holiday yesterday, today is the day that we update our ongoing weekly features, including the Video Village. And today we're going back to 1986 for an interview that I did when Ozzy Osbourne was in town. Now, this was 86, and he looks very, very different, and believe it or not, you can understand him. So that's in the Video Village all week, and we'll also have a new Wayback Machine. You want to know what Jennifer Blum looked like 25 years ago? You'll see it. We pick up a 1986 KSTK 5 o'clock newscast where Jennifer Blum is doing the news, and she looks very, very different. All right, a new Not Necessarily the News features Steve Spagnola and Sam Bradford out at Rams Park. Enjoy that. I worked really hard on that. JC's Eye Candy today. What are they going to do about the oil spill down in the Gulf? Well, Dave took calls the other night, and you'll see the result of that on JC's Eye Candy today. It is hilarious. All right, tomorrow we'll tell you the story about some guy in his 70s who's trying to kill Joe Walsh, and also 7 facts about speeding. So join us tomorrow here on the Daily Dose. In the meantime, that's it for June 1st, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Tell your friends we're here at jc'ontheline.com. In the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.